What's up guys, what's going on? I'm Rafael Grigor and I'm a digital addict. So I got the 2017 iPad Pro 2 10.5 inch. And this is a review of the iPad Pro from the perspective of an artist. I know, I was supposed to review Persona 5, but well, that game literally told me to take my time. So here I am. Now, the main reason why I upgraded to the new iPad Pro was for the increased portability. I used to own a 2015 12.9 inch iPad Pro. I loved it, and I loved the screen size, but I found that I didn't use it as much because the size was just too inconvenient, because it was just way too small for me to comfortably use. As a piece of technology, the 10.5 inch iPad Pro 2, I found it mostly the same, which may sound negative, but it's hard to improve what was already an almost perfect product. I guess I felt a little underwhelmed because I went from the 12.9 to the 10.5. The iPad was easy to get used to, and unlike most reviewers, wasn't completely awed by the 120Hz screen. I mean, I can tell it's doing its thing, but the awe lasted for about 5 seconds before I got bored. The migration was a bit of an issue. I had to restore multiple times before all my previous iPad's information was successfully moved to my new iPad. I also had issues with my old iPad. It retained a lot of my personal information such as iTunes passwords, Apple Music, and most distressingly of all, my Safari passwords, all available in plain text. I did this all via the Restore Content and Settings feature, but in the end, I made sure to manually delete everything and did an iTunes restore for good measure. Luckily, I'm tech savvy enough to have spotted those migration hiccups, but most people would have never known. Please double check that all your data is gone before you sell off all your old gear. Anyway, what mattered most to me was the experience of drawing on the new iPad Pro. I really did miss the big size of the 12.9 inch though. I especially love being able to draw vertically while having all that space. To get used to the downgraded screen size, I started drawing horizontally more, which is great because I plan to do more screen recordings of all my drawings. A great benefit of the new portability was that I found myself drawing far more often. I even tried drawing while standing up on the train. It worked out quite well actually. The 120 frames per second Pro Motion makes drawing feel silky smooth. Pencil lag is noticeably improved, but that's not saying much considering that it was already almost imperceptible in the previous gen iPad. I'm not sure how I can convince an artist why ProMotion is the reason to get the new version. You can honestly live without it, but with all the negative things out of the way, let's talk about why I love this new iPad Pro and why I think it's the best artist tool you can buy right now. Let's start off with the speakers. Well, the speakers are quite great actually, and I really enjoy playing music such as lo-fi hip-hop while I do my work on the couch. The improved anti-reflectivity and the brighter 600 nit screen make things super clear and easier on the eyes in bright light conditions. The Apple Pencil that I've been using since 2015 still works great, and I dare say, besides the increased improvement from the ProMotion, it physically felt better while making contact with the physical screen. Now, I've watched lots of iPad Pro reviews, and not many talk about just how much better the pencil feels on the screen. You really need to try it out for yourselves. I'm not sure what it is. It may be the new anti-reflective coating, but the screen is 2 steps closer to feeling like drawing on paper than the original iPad Pro. In fact, the biggest gripe I had about my old iPad was the feeling of drawing on glass. And the new iPad has completely changed this. Does it feel better than other tablets like the Cintiq? No. The Cintiq, I would say, is one step ahead of the iPad in terms of feeling like you're drawing on paper. Now, I could have just added a screen protector that just does this, but I hate screen protectors, and you also lose a tiny bit of screen quality while adding a little bit more parallax in your drawing experience. Now, if you don't know what parallax is, it's that space between the pencil and point of contact on your screen. The new screen also has the new P3 color gamut that unlocks and displays an increased range of colors that were previously unavailable in the old iPad screens. Not many apps take advantage of this yet though, and the app I'm currently using, Procreate, doesn't support it yet. But talking about Procreate, right now Procreate is in Procreate version 3.2, I believe, 3.2.2, 3.2.3, or is it 3.2.2? Anyway, recently the developer Savage Interactive announced that they're releasing Procreate 4 in the fall. Procreate 4 will feature crazy new improvements, not just under the hood, but a Christmas wish list of new features. Features such as an all-new architecture powered by Apple's Metal 2, which will see an increase in speed while using less resources. I'm hoping this will also increase the previous size and layer limitations Procreate had. A new brush palette, along with a new blending engine. Now, this is actually quite important for me. If you didn't know, Procreate's blending engine was a joke. I often would have to hop onto a different app, such as PaintStorm Studio, and did the blending there. It was kind of inconvenient because PaintStorm is a really heavy app, and sometimes it would crash, and it wasn't exactly a great app to use if you're going to think about doing any kind of illustration seriously. But it was great fun, and the features on the app is ridiculous, and I can understand why it crashes because that app has a lot of features that are equal to what you get on a desktop version of that app. So yeah, like having an improved blending engine just makes me super excited. Now, if you've ever been following the developer's Instagram stories, they've been teasing their update like crazy, including this. A list of all the 200 new changes and improvements they're making to Procreate 4. Through the magic of screenshotting their Instagram stories, let's take a look at the list they've teased. So it's actually quite blurry and I can't read all of them, but here are the few things that I've managed to catch while zooming in. It's support for the new iPad Pro's P3 wide color gamut, which is amazing. I can't wait to use that and really get to use all those extra colors. Brush blend modes, which would mean multiply or screen brushes without having to use a layer blends as a workaround. I think this would be great. This would be great for anyone who does brush blend modes while painting. Something called circle recognition, which I hope means we can now draw circles. Drag and drop support for iOS 11. Improvements to PSD export. TIFF support. Oh wow. Wet paint effects. That's quite interesting. Serious improvement to accumulative painting. I just hope that means like if you've ever played with Procreate, accumulative painting has this weird sort of like after image pattern that you can see here, and hopefully I think maybe the new brush blending engine fixes that. I think that's also part of the new blending engine will also coincide to why the new brush engine improves as well. AirPlay canvas, not sure what that is, but sounds interesting. Pass-through for layer groups, which I assume means you can have blending modes for groups, which is amazing. And layer masks? What? Oh, no way. So layer masks, if you've ever played with Photoshop, right? Layer masks, what I think layer masks is that you can put a mask over a layer and you can edit the layer mask, which is great because one of my old ways of doing work on Photoshop before was really playing with layer masks, and this lets you erase parts of your drawing or parts of your layers without completely destroying it. So I think this will be great, and yeah, I think this is amazing actually. This besides the new blending engine, I think this is one of the more important things of the new Procreate 4. Now the rest of it I couldn't really read, but I'm hoping that one of them will allow you to control how fast a video is created from Procreate. It's because I normally upload videos onto Instagram, and trying to fit a 9-minute video into Instagram isn't fun on an iPad. So anyway, that's all for today's review. So whether you decide to get the new iPad Pro now or in fall, I think you won't regret it, especially if you haven't got the previous iPad. But if you do have the previous iPad Pro, ProMotion might not be the best reason for you to upgrade, since Procreate 4 will be available to you in the fall anyway, and will still work great. But if you want the improved experience of feeling like you're drawing on paper and the expanded color range, which will be unlocked by Procreate 4, I would highly recommend it. That's all for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed my artist review of the new iPad Pro 2 2017. Hit the like button if you found it informative, and leave a comment if you found my review helped you make a decision on the new iPad Pro. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.